Welcome everyone to Life Lessons from Movies, presented by my organization, the Zen of Hollywood, and me, your host, David MacKay. In this segment, we extract life lessons from films so that we can learn something, improve our lives, and become happier, which I believe we all desire. Okay, today's theme is putting the past behind us so we can live happily in the present. And we'll examine this theme through the good film called What's Eating Gilbert, Grape, starring Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Juliette Lewis. Please know there are spoilers ahead. We've all heard at some point, put it behind you. Just leave your past in the past. And while sometimes this could be good advice, usually this is nothing more than the positive focus that people use to avoid examining their deepest personal pain so they can process it and really put it behind them. This flippant attitude about really self-examination and going deep is exactly what we see in the film in this small town amongst its citizens. We see people interacting with a lot of chit-chat, small talk. There's really no interest in going deep with each other. They just want to get by. And people do get by, except for Gilbert Grape, the main character, who really starts to feel inner rumblings of discontent. I mean, this small town life is really starting to drive him crazy because he realizes that he could be doing so much more with his life. But Gilbert feels trapped. I mean, he has this dead-end job. He has a family that just goes through the motions. Nobody really cares about each other. There's no real deep connection. And he has to take care of his 18-year-old mentally challenged brother, Arnie. Gilbert really wants to break free, but he can't seem to do so because he's weighed down by his past. Now, we can see this theme of people being burdened by their past because they're unwilling to face it in many different characters. One of these characters is a woman named Betty Carver, with whom Gilbert is having an affair. I mean, they have this affair underneath the noses of a lot of people. But eventually, Gilbert breaks it off, and she gets angry about it, right? She comes to him with an angry reaction, saying something like, well, you know, I could have chosen anybody. I could have had anybody to have an affair with, but I chose you. And so he asks her, well, why did you choose me? And she says, her answer is revealing. She says, because I knew you would always be there for me. I knew you would never leave. And right there, we can see that Betty has abandonment issues that she hasn't faced. And this is why we can see why she had the affair to begin with, because she ended up marrying a man who gave her safety and security, stability, was always there for her, but it was boring. He doesn't feed her soul. But she's not the only character weighed down by her past. So are Gilbert and his mother. His mother is somebody who's this obese individual who lost her husband many years before to suicide, right? And instead of getting on with her life, instead of facing that pain, whatever the guilt and grieving his death, and whatever she might be feeling, going through, she doesn't do that, and she holds on to it, plays the part of the victim, and as a result, she remains stuck in her past. Now, she gains benefits from it. Everybody treats her like a victim, poor you, and they all come and cater to her every need and desire. But she lives this very unfulfilling life. Well, Gilbert's the same way because he ends up blaming his mother for remaining stuck in her past for his particular woes. I mean, he blames her for not being able to take care of Arnie, which then drives him crazy because he's constantly doing that. He's having to take care of his mentally challenged brother. And so he too is weighed down by the past. Thankfully for Gilbert, however, there's this new girl in town named Becky who helps set him straight. I mean, whereas Gilbert is always future-oriented, always having someplace to go, Becky is fully squared in the moment. She's fully set in the moment, doing the little things in life, like watching sunsets, taking time to go swimming, and most important, emotionally connect with Gilbert. And this is exactly what he needs to begin living more in the present instead of the past. But he still needs to put his past behind him, and that's exactly what he does towards the end of the film when his mother dies. Remember at the end, and instead of having this embarrassing scene in which somebody has to remove this massive body from the house and everybody would be looking. Instead, he and his sisters decide to burn the house down with his dead mother in it. It's kind of like a funeral. But at the same time, it's a ceremony that allows them to kind of purge the past so that they can move on with their lives in the present. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to examine, of course, whatever's happening in the here and now and take a look at our personal pain, our negative beliefs, values, negative emotions that are coming up that are disrupting our life. And we need to make the connection to the past and take a look at what part of our past have we not confronted, have we not faced and healed. We need to be able to do that so that we can really put the past behind us and live fully in the present. This is what I took as a major life lesson from this film, but I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And for more movies and life lessons, please go to my website, thezenofhollywood.com. That's thezenofhollywood.com. And please like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.